Hey guys, honestly my people, this is not good. Just sit down and listen to this gist till the end. Ruth Kadiri sat in her living room scrolling through her phone when she stumbled upon yet another video with her face plastered on the thumbnail alongside wild accusations and manufactured drama. Her jaw clenched as she watched YouTubers with elaborate tales about feuds that never happened and conflicts that existed only in their imagination. For years, she had poured her heart and soul into building a respectable career in Nollywood, crafting stories that resonated with audiences and producing content that elevated the industry. Now, faceless voices behind screens were threatening to tear it all down with lies so ridiculous they would make a fiction writer blush. The question that burned in her mind was simple: how much longer could she stay silent while her reputation was being dragged through the mud for the sake of someone else's view count? The rumor started innocently enough, as most dangerous things do. A YouTuber here, a gossip channel there, each one adding their own spicy ingredient to the pot until the story had transformed into something unrecognizable. They claimed she was at war with fellow actress Uche Montana, that she had blocked her on social media in a fit of jealous rage, that she was systematically removing Montana from her project out of spite. The internet ate it up like hot puff-puff on a rainy Lagos afternoon. Comment sections exploded with speculation, fans chose sides, and suddenly Ruth found herself at the center of a drama she never auditioned for. The irony wasn't lost on her that as a producer and actress, she created drama for a living, but this particular script was one she never wanted to be part of. What pushed Ruth from frustration to action was the realization that these lies weren't just personal attacks, they were professional sabotage. Every false story chipped away at the brand she had meticulously built over countless late nights on set, early mornings reviewing scripts, and years of delivering quality entertainment to her fans. These weren't harmless rumors that would fade with time, they were digital stains that could follow her forever, influencing how producers viewed her, how brands considered partnerships, and how audiences perceived her character. She understood that in the age of social media, perception often matters more than reality, and if she didn't take control of the narrative, someone else would write her story for her. The entertainment industry is unforgiving enough without adding manufactured controversies to the mix. Ruth's response came swift and sharp, cutting through the noise with the precision of someone who had reached their absolute limit. She issued a public warning that left no room for misinterpretation, making it crystal clear that she would not tolerate lies or deliberate attempts to tarnish her reputation. Her message wasn't delivered with the polished diplomacy of a carefully crafted PR statement, it carried the raw frustration of a woman who had been pushed too far. She called out the YouTubers directly, challenging them to produce evidence for their claims or face the consequences of their fabrications. Her tone was firm, her position unshakable, and her patience officially exhausted. It was the kind of stand that made her supporters cheer and gave her detractors pause, because Ruth Kadiri wasn't playing games anymore. The situation escalated when eagle-eyed fans noticed that two of Ruth's movies, Better Half and Hello Pot, had mysteriously vanished from her YouTube channel. Both films prominently featured Uche Montana, and to the rumor mill, this was the smoking gun they had been waiting for. Social media detectives went into overdrive, connecting dots that didn't exist and building elaborate theories about behind-the-scenes drama worthy of its own Netflix series. Screenshots were shared, timelines were analyzed, and suddenly everyone had an opinion about what really happened between the two actresses. The speculation grew so wild that you would think they were investigating an international conspiracy rather than the business decisions of an independent filmmaker managing her own content. Ruth quickly moved to address the mounting speculation about Uche Montana, categorically denying any personal beef between them. She explained that the removal of the movies had absolutely nothing to do with any feud, imagined or otherwise, but was based on professional and business considerations that had nothing to do with personal relationships. Some industry observers speculated it might have been related to ownership rights, distribution agreements, or simply a strategic decision about which content to feature on her platform. After all, content creators constantly make decisions about what stays and what goes based on performance metrics, contractual obligations, and long-term strategy. But nuance doesn't generate clicks the way drama does, so the reasonable explanation got drowned out by sensational headlines. Just when it seemed like the dust might settle, another rumor emerged claiming Ruth had a falling out with actor Chidi Dike and had blacklisted him from her productions. The rumor mill was working overtime, apparently determined to turn Ruth into some kind of vindictive villain who burned bridges with everyone in the industry. This particular accusation must have been especially frustrating because casting decisions are among the most professional aspects of filmmaking, driven by character fit, budget considerations, scheduling availability, and creative vision. The suggestion that she was making casting choices based on personal grudges not only misrepresented her professional integrity but also insulted her dedication to her craft. It painted a picture of someone who let emotions override artistic excellence, which couldn't have been further from who Ruth actually was. Ruth refuted the Chidi Dyke rumors with the same firmness she had shown before, emphasizing that her casting decisions were purely professional and never personal. She made it clear that she maintained positive working relationships across the industry and that her choices about who to cast were based on what each project needed, not on settling scores or nursing grudges. The suggestion that she operated any other way was both insulting and inaccurate. She pointed out that in an industry as interconnected as Nollywood, burning bridges is not just unprofessional but also career suicide. Everyone knows everyone. Today's supporting actor might be tomorrow's leading star, and maintaining good relationships is simply good business. The idea that she would jeopardize her career and her productions over personal drama showed how little these rumormongers understood about how the industry actually worked. What seemed to frustrate Ruth most was the casual relationship these content creators had with the truth. She expressed deep disappointment with YouTubers who prioritized views and engagement over accuracy and integrity. These weren't mistakes or misunderstandings, they were deliberate fabrications designed to generate clicks and boost watch time. The creators knew exactly what they were doing when they slapped sensational titles on their videos and used misleading thumbnails. They understood that controversy sells and that people are more likely to share scandal than celebrate success. Ruth had watched this playbook destroy reputations before, and she was determined not to become another casualty of the attention economy. Her frustration was palpable because she recognized that while she was fighting to clear her name, these channels were already moving on to their next target, leaving destruction in their wake. Ruth didn't just complain about the problem, she laid out concrete consequences for those who continued spreading falsehoods. She warned content creators explicitly that she would report their channels if they persisted with their lies and fabrications. This wasn't an empty threat or mere posturing, it was a clear action plan from someone who had consulted with advisors and was prepared to use every tool at her disposal. Platform policies exist to protect creators from defamation and harassment, and Ruth was ready to leverage those policies. Her message sent ripples through the gossip community because it represented a shift from passive victim to active defender. She was essentially putting everyone on notice that there would be real-world consequences for digital lies, and that her legal and professional teams were watching. To set the record straight once and for all, Ruth publicly clarified her relationships with both Uche Montana and Chidi Dyke, confirming that not only were things cordial, but they actually still followed each other on social media. In the digital age, social media follows have become a weird barometer of relationships, as if the absence of a follow definitively proves a feud. Ruth understood this strange currency and made sure to address it directly, removing even that flimsy foundation from under the rumors. She emphasized that mutual respect existed between her and her colleagues, that they had worked together professionally in the past, and that doors remained open for future collaborations. By providing this clarity, she demolished the narrative that had been constructed around her, replacing speculation with actual facts and rumor with reality. The response from Ruth's fanbase was overwhelming and heartwarming, proving that authentic connection can survive even the most vicious rumor campaigns. Supporters flooded her social media with messages of encouragement, praising her for standing up against misinformation and refusing to be bullied into silence. They appreciated her professionalism in addressing the situation directly rather than letting it fester, her composure in the face of attacks that would have broken lesser spirits, and her integrity in maintaining the truth even when lies would have been more entertaining. Fans created counter-content defending her reputation, called out the channel spreading falsehoods, and organized to support her work. This groundswell of genuine support reminded Ruth why she did what she did and reinforced that her real audience valued substance over scandal. The fan response extended beyond just supporting Ruth, it became a broader conversation about responsibility and ethics in content creation. People began questioning why YouTubers and bloggers felt entitled to destroy reputations for engagement metrics, why platforms allowed defamatory content to flourish unchecked, and what recourse public figures had when lies about them went viral. Supporters demanded more accountability from gossip channels, calling for fact-checking before publication and consequences for spreading knowingly false information. Some fans even started researching which channels had histories of false reporting and organizing boycotts. The conversation Ruth sparked went beyond her individual situation to address systemic issues in digital media, proving that sometimes one person's stand can catalyze broader change. The movement reinforced that audiences were tired of clickbait culture and hungry for authentic, truthful content. What emerged from this entire ordeal was a reinforced image of Ruth Kadiri as someone who wouldn't be pushed around, bullied, or defined by others. Her handling of the situation demonstrated the qualities that had made her successful in the first place: focus, determination, professionalism, and an unwavering commitment to her principles. She showed that it's possible to defend yourself without descending into mudslinging, to correct false narratives without creating more drama, and to stand firm without losing your grace. The attempted character assassination backfired spectacularly, ultimately strengthening rather than damaging her reputation. Industry colleagues took note of how she handled the pressure, fans grew more loyal, and even critics had to acknowledge her measured yet forceful response. Ruth proved that sometimes the best way to handle lies is to confront them directly with truth and consequences. So here's the takeaway from Ruth Kadiri's masterclass in reputation defense: don't let anyone write your story for you, and definitely don't let lies about you become someone else's profitable content. In a world where anyone with a camera and an internet connection can become a commentator, we all need to be more discerning about what we consume and more supportive of those fighting to protect their truth. Ruth's situation reminds us that behind every viral rumor is a real person with a real career and real feelings. The next time you see a sensational headline about someone, pause before you click, question whether it's true before you share, and consider the damage that false narratives can cause. Support creators who prioritize truth over trends, substance over scandal, and integrity over income. And if you're inspired by Ruth's refusal to be silenced, show it by engaging with her actual work rather than the gossip about her. Drop a comment about how you handle rumors in your own life, share this with someone who needs to hear it, and let's collectively raise the standard for what we accept in entertainment media. Ruth fought back, and so can you.